I always think about, in my first year of my biomed degree, I did a lot of research about the effects of porn on the male mind for a module that I was taking. And a lot of what I found out wasn't surprising to me, like the, reduced levels of empathy, of social cognition. You had the exploitation of neuroplasticity and how it was literally rewiring the reward system. But what stuck out to me the most was about how all of the studies insinuated that men who watched high levels or high amounts of porn literally stopped seeing women as people. I did a lot of research onto it. So if I explain to you how it works, we basically have MPFC, which is the medial prefrontal cortex in our brains, which is heavily involved in mentalizing, something that you probably know as the theory of the mind. Now, the theory of the mind basically allows you to kind of think about what other people are thinking or feeling, recognizing that someone is a person with their own history and their own pain and their own experiences, to then feel like empathy and like moral concern for them. So like neurodevelopment might hinder your theory of the mind, and like autism and psychopathy, toddlers eventually develop theory of the mind. Socioeconomic factors affect it, but everybody has it. It's super important for the human condition. It's central for human connection, but it's selective. So like our brain chooses when it wants to activate it. And in like the fMRI studies that they did on men who watch porn, they were shown sexualized images of women, and they found that their medial prefrontal cortex was showing way less activation than when they showed them like non-sexual images of women or just even sexual images of men. It meant that in the mind of a man who watches porn, the female sexualized body is kind of interpreted in the same way an object is. So that part of their brain that helps them recognize what other people are thinking or feeling goes dim. That is like so disturbing. So imagine if these conditions are repeated and normalized. Imagine that perception keeps getting reinforced by porn, by like pornographic material, by racial stereotypes as well. Men who watch porn end up like they're more likely to disregard consent, accept submission from women, rationalize harm by saying things like, oh, she wanted it. It's so insane. Like imagine if every time you saw a small vulnerable child, the first thing that came to your mind was, how do I manipulate that child, and not how can I protect that child? And all these porn studies suggest that in that specific context, that's what the brain of a man who watches porn is moving towards. That's what makes porn so socially corrosive, not just like harmful. I don't know how like women feel comfortable letting their children be around men who watch porn. How do you trust the worldview of someone that repeatedly consumes content that detaches from consent and humanity and personhood, and it's literally moving towards psychopathy? Like, that's weird.